Hi, and how are you doing this evening? Let's take a quick look at what is happening on the yellow metal, that is the gold, and let's see what structure is dictating against the new wick. In fact, this is a follow-up detail on my previous analysis on xauusd where we were able to rack in some profits in the upside direction as price action has moved over 4,500 pips thereabouts in the direction we predicted during our last speculation on the spare. You might want to check the link below for a reference purposes if you want to see what we were looking at last week. Well, right now, price has continued to go in the direction we have expected. And now that we are going into the new week, what is our plan going to be like? Well, if we look at the daily time frame, it is obvious that since around April, price has been on a bearish momentum drive, and I was able to connect the series of lower highs, I think from the month of June, to make something that looks like a descending channel as price action has continued to juxtapose between the resistant level of this channel and the support level of the channel before we saw an outright breakdown of the channel during the early weeks of this month. Now that price has come it strike into the $1,680 mark, we've continued to see price find new highs and new higher lows, giving us an impression of a reversal pattern. But we can't just jump into conclusion as we need to consider the long-term momentum we have here on the XAUUSD, which is bearish. But before we do, I want to zoom out so that we can see how price action has been playing out since the beginning of the year. And we have a bullish trend line that has been holding price supported for a while, and until we saw the significant breakdown of that level during the early days of those months of July. Here we saw the breakdown here, and we all understand that from a technical perspective, whenever there is a breakdown or breakout of structure, we expect price to come back and do a retest of that structure with the intention of going in the direction of the prior leading price action, which at this point is more or less bearish. However, to we cannot wait for price to get there before we take a position, as we already have positions lining up for us on lower time frame to join that rally into that area. Now, if we scale down to a much lower time frame, that is the 4 hours time frame, we begin to see things very, very clearly. The first thing I did on the 4 hours time frame is to identify a key level that I want to be using as my yardstick going into the new week. And what does this key level do to me? What it does is that it helps me make a decision, as if I see price oscillate right above that key level, I want to be taking a buy position, and if price breaks below that key level, I want to be looking for selling opportunities to join the risk of further decline. Now, to identify a key level, I was able to look left, and I noticed here that we had a selling niche around this area, as we can see that every time price comes into that level, we always see a rejection of that level as sellers continue to push price to the downside from that point. It also happened on the 13th of July. It happened on the 25th of July before we saw the outright breakout of that structure. So for me, the way things are going in the last 2 weeks, the $1,740 level appears to be a very, very significant level that I want to be using to guide my action during the new week. So now that we have an outright breakout of that level, of that key level here during the course of last week trading session, that is more or less a signal for me that we might be going bearish from this point in time. And if we look at the structure we have prior to the breakout, we have something that looks more like a reversal pattern. From an horizontal perspective here, it looks like a reversal pattern. And if we look on this perspective as well, it looks more like a reversal pattern that shares a confluence with the breakout of structure at a key level at $1,740 mark. So now that we have a breakout of structure, so what is going to be our plans? Well, the first scenario is this. I have two scenarios I'm looking out for here on the gold. The first scenario is that I want to see price do a comeback into the key level here, which also shares a confluence with the temporary bullish trend line I was able to identify during the course of last week trading session. You can see it on your screen with a little green dotted line. I want to see price come back into this level with a structure that looks more like a reversal pattern on lower time frame for me to join the trend continuation back into the bullish trend line we identified on the daily time frame. So this is the one scenario I'm looking out for a bullish momentum here. And then the other scenario I'm looking for a bullish momentum if is this. If we look at the structure here, we see that price is right around that resistant level of the bearish trend line I was able to identify on the daily time frame. And one thing we want to be looking out for here is an outright breakout, or we could be having a respect of this line to send price crashing to the downside. So if I see an outright breakout, that is if price does not come back into this key level and an outright breakout of this line happens, then one thing I want to be looking out for is a possible retracement into this bearish trend line, after which I want to be looking for a reversal pattern on lower time frame to join the rally to the upside. That is the second scenario I'm looking out for any bullish momentum here on the gold. Now, the third scenario I'm looking at is more or less bearish, and that is if we see price reject this level, that is, we see a reversal pattern here on lower time frame, and price continues to go down. Well, this might be a a short-term trade for those who trade on lower time frame. You can take that move into that key level. But one thing I want to be seeing is price should break that key level to the downside, which also shares a confluence with that bullish trend line. So if I see price break below that key level and that bullish trend line, that's a signal for me that price is actually going to be respecting that channel. So one thing I'll be waiting for, since I've got the signal, I want to wait for price to come back and do a retest of either the key level, the bullish trend line, or probably go as far as testing that bearish trend line, after which I'll be looking for a reversal pattern on lower time frame to join the trend continuation to the downside. So these are the scenarios I'm looking out for here on the gold, and I would like to pause the video at this point, but be rest assured I will be giving an update. I'll be sharing an update in the comment section during the early hours of the new week, as we want to see our price action as played out during the first 6 to 7 hours, after which I will be making a decision based on what happened. If this video has been useful in any way to helping you make your individual decision during this coming week, kindly support this video by clicking the like button. You will also want to follow me on my TradingView platform at Dark Sherry so that you don't miss out on the regular updates I normally share in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video and do have a wonderful night rest. Bye bye.